Good morning. Happy Friday. Happy 4th if you live in the States. Happy if you have it off. So, did you ever see the Progressive commercial where I think it's Progressive, where they talk about how you're just like your parents or try not to be like your parents? It is so true. Kudos to their marketing team because you've really done your homework. How many times have you said something only to think in your head, my parents said that? Or, oh my God, I'm turning into like my mother. Sometimes I want to have like a conversation with my kids and I want to talk about something, and I'm like, oh no, that's my mother. I don't think you can avoid it. I think it's inevitable for all of us. But if you haven't seen the commercials, I mean, they're worth the watch because they're very entertaining. You know why they're entertaining? They're entertaining because when it's happening to you, that's why a lot of comedians, when they make jokes that resonate, they're funnier when it really does resonate. So that's my review of that commercial. Anyway, onward and upward. Yesterday, I touched very lightly on the topic of attachment styles. There is a book out. Don't ask me to quote it. I've never read it. I've heard about it. I've never taken what kind of an attachment style I have. I believe that's what it is. But I always hear it. When people come to me for readings, and sometimes males also, they tell me what kind of attachment style, not them, their other person has. That's what their concern is, what their other person has. And like I said, I touched a little bit on it in yesterday's reading. I find that, and a lot of things I speak of are just from my experience of life and going through this myself. I think your lesson isn't to figure out what attachment style the other person has. I feel your lesson is to learn about you. Now, I'm sure the book is geared towards that. What kind of attachment style do you have? Like I said, I've never read the book. But unfortunately, a lot of people, mostly females, will come to me and start telling me why the relationship didn't work, why it fell apart, and what kind of attachment styles they have. A lot of them. I'm telling you, a lot of you. It's not just one and done. It's a lot of you. And I always feel the person has come into your life for you to learn about you, not for you to learn about them. So you need to take the focus off of them and you need to put it on yourself, because once you start learning about yourself, the world's your oyster. I always told that to my daughter, especially when she was growing up, when like she didn't know what she wanted to do, when she was going to school and just different things like that. But I always used to say, remember, the world's your oyster, which is true. The world is your oyster. The opportunities are always there. You just sometimes got to go digging for them, like the pearl and the oyster. But back to the attachment styles. When you're with somebody, remember, it's not your job to figure out them. That's their job. Your job is to figure out you. So all these different relationships come into your life and you're attracting them for a certain reason. And it's your job to figure out why. It's your job to figure out, why do I accept X, Y, and Z? Why do I think this is acceptable? Why do I feel I deserve less? Okay. So though that is your job, not to fix the rest of the world. It's nice of you to want to help the rest of the world, but trust me, you can't fix somebody unless they want to be fixed. And I don't know about you, but at my age, I'm not rebuilding anybody. I'm not doing it. I'm telling you, I won't even build a bear, let alone build a man. So that's my thought for today. If you've read the book, put your comments below. Dying to hear from you. And let's see what we have in the cards today. Nine of Wands, up against a lot of different things. One thing I love about this card is this man has had a lot of adversities. Can you see that? He's had a lot of adversities in his life, and he's lined them up like trophies, and he's proud of them and he's showing them off. It's funny because this is the number 9, so this tells us we're just about at the point of finished. So if you're in the middle of some sort of chaos, hustle, kind of bustle sort of thing, and you're like, when is it going to end? Well, I'm here to tell you it's going to end fairly soon. The 9 of Wands tells us that what you're going through is about to end, but you've walked away with some valuable lessons. Okay. And it wasn't easy. See, he's got a scar on his head with a band aid to prove it. It wasn't easy, but he's made the best out of it. Okay. He's actually, look, he's built a fence. And why did he build a fence? Anyone? Back of the class? Mary Jane? No. He's built the fence out of adversity because he doesn't want it brought into his life again. And that's what you have to remember. You want to, if you've had an episode of something, it doesn't need to be repeated, especially if it's preventable. So in the 9 of Wands, it tells us that we've had different adversities. We don't want to do that anymore. We just don't want to do that anymore. And we kind of mentally build a fence of every opportunity, every adversity, so it can't get back in. So we've learned that lesson and we're ready to move on. So hopefully that made sense for you. I'll try to be back over the weekend. I do have plans to get a little sun. I need a little bit of a tan. That's what I need, a little bit of a tan. I'm hoping to go to Puerto Rico the end of the summer. And I definitely want to go with a little bit of a tan. So, all right, everyone. If you have an attachment style, put it in the comments. I'd love to see it. And everybody, this is Coffee and Tarot time. I am the Queen of Wands. Have a great day.